I am Dr. Niroj Kumar Sinha, an Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, Jamalpur College, Jamalpur. Today, I am engaging the class of BCom Part 1, Subject Financial Account, Honors Paper 1. Dear student, good morning everybody. Today, I am introducing a new chapter, Relation of Partnership Firm Second, or Insolvency of Partner. First of all, we know about insolvency of partner. When a partner is not able or capable to pay his liabilities, it means his total liability is more than assets or his total assets is less than the total liability. Then the partner is said to be or declared as insolvent. In other words, when a partner is not able to pay his deficiency of capital from his own assets or from his own sources, then he is declared as insolvent. As you know, when a partner is unable to pay his liabilities in full, his own assets is not able to pay his own liabilities, that's in this position, he may be called as insolvent partner. Suppose in a firm, ABC are three partners. She has assets of 40,000 and liabilities of 50,000. It means there is a deficiency of 10,000 in C's assets, or it may be called there is a deficiency of 10,000 in C's capital. But he has no private assets or no other sources by which he may bring rupees 20,000. In these circumstances, she may be called as insolvent partner. According to Section 42 of Indian Partnership Act 1932, the business of a firm is wound up on the insolvency of any partner. When a firm is wound up due to insolvency of a partner, that means the insolvent partner is unable to discharge his liabilities towards his firm, or he is not able to make up his share of loss any deficiency of capital. Now the provision regarding insolvent partner. When one or more partners are insolvent, then adequate arrangement or provision are made under Indian Partnership Act to make up the deficiencies of capital. Number 1. Under Indian Partnership Act, the liability of each partner is unlimited. Thus, the deficiency of capital of a person or partner can be made up from his personal property. If still some amount remains unadjusted, then the balance of deficiencies of insolvent partner can be compensated by remaining partners in their capital ratio. Before 1903, the distributed deficiency of capital account of insolvent partner was apportioned to other partner in their profit sharing ratio. But after the judgment in the famous case Garner versus Murray, the loss due to insolvency of a partner should be divided between or among the remaining partners in the ratio of capital then standing. After the decision of Garner versus Murray case in the year 1903, the following judgment has been given regarding insolvent of a partner. A. Insolvent partner is called who is insolvent, but solvent partner, those are not declared insolvent, will bring realization loss in cash. B. The deficiencies of insolvent partner capital account showing be divided between or among the solvent partners in the ratio of capital then standing as under. A. When capital is fixed, that the deficiencies of capital due to insolvency of partner will be divided between or among the solvent partner in the ratio of capital shown in the balance sheet or opening balance of capital. B. When capital is fluctuating or floating, deficiency of insolvent partner capital has to be borne by solvent partner in the ratio of their capital standing just prior to deletion after adjustment of fund, undivided profit or loss. C. Loss on realization to be divided in profit sharing ratio between or among the partners. These are the decisions under Garner versus Murray decision. Now we know about deficiencies of insolvent partner, how it is distributed between or among the solvent partner, how this type of solve is solved under the decision of Garner versus Murray or before the under the decision of Garner versus Murray. Before 1903, the deficiencies of insolvent partner is borne by solvent partner. Those partners who are not declared insolvent are called solvent partner. Is distributed between or among the partners in their capital ratio. But under the decision of Garner versus Murray, the first decision is loss will be brought by solvent partner. Suppose in a firm PQR partners R is declared insolvent, then the remaining partner or solvent partner are P and Q. So P and Q will bring realization loss. Now the second decision, deficiencies of R's capital will be borne by P and Q so that both are solvent partner in their capital ratio. If capital is fluctuating, then the deficiencies of R's capital will be borne by P or Q in the last balance of capital. And if the capital is fixed, that difference of R capital will be bound by P and Q in the opening balance of capital ratio. So before solving the question, some important point must be kept in the mind or in the knowledge. 1. If there is any debit balance in the capital account of partners and he is not insolvent, but the said partner will not bear the share of loss due to insolvency of other partner. If there is no mention in the question to solve according to Garner versus Murray case, then the question will be solved according to Indian Partnership Act. Okay, thank you.